All right, welcome to another episode of Criminals Hate Me. It's the podcast that criminals don't want you to watch. And we're going to continue today by talking about the Noah Presgrove case some more. And what we're going to talk about today is the side-by-side accident, the rollover accident that supposedly happened around 2:40 a.m. Okay, I think there's some very interesting things that I've come across that I think has been out there for all this time, but I think a lot of people just haven't really put it together and let it click in their heads, because we got some real questions here today for some people, and that's kind of what we're going to dive in, because something's not really making sense. I've lined some things up, we're going to point them out, but I think somebody's got some explaining to do, okay? But before we dig in, I just wanted to let y'all know that everything is under control and that I'm here in my mom's basement as usual. Everyone thought that my channel was falling apart and that I was being silenced, but that is impetuous. As you can see, everything is great. I love Warlike Wrath as usual. I'm obsessed with him. And also, I've got my door locked with the belt and a huge lock and chain. And just for extra support, I've got a chair, okay? That way my mom can't come into the basement while I'm recording these true crime episodes and interrupt me, because she doesn't like it, okay? So that's just kind of where we're starting at today, guys. I'm starting from my basement as usual, okay? Everything is great and under control. All right, so we need to dig in and find out, where did the rollover accident happen? Where is it possible that it happened? Okay. And it had to have happened somewhere around this area. Okay. You've got the party house down here at the bottom, and then you got the X where Noah's body was found. Okay. So this is kind of the land around the area of those two places, okay? And so I'm thinking that the side-by-side accident had to have happened somewhere in this area that I've got in this red square, okay? But wherever it happened, the body ended up where the X is. So that's the mystery, is how did it get there, okay? And in Kaden's interview with OHP, he says that the side-by-side accident happened at 2:40 a.m. So, in my opinion, this causes a big problem for Elisha Lee. And we're going to dig in, and I'm going to explain to you why this side-by-side accident happening at 2:40 a.m. causes a problem for her. Okay, so we all know the story. Kaden claims that Elisha was extremely worried about Jorja being drunk and being around all those boys at the party. Elisha even texted Kaden telling him that Jorja was wild and that he needed to make sure that she did not do anything that she would regret in the morning. That's the story for why they were watching Jorja so closely on the Life 360 app. But then, when Kaden fell asleep and him and Jorja got separated, it seems that Melissa and Jorja panicked and they jumped in the car to come get Jorja out of there. Okay, supposedly they were watching the Life 360 app and her location was moving down the road, and they just freaked out and they were worried. I don't know what they were worried about, but that's the story. And so they jumped in the car, and who knows whether it was the Camaro or what other vehicle it could have been, but they hauled ass from Duncan down to outside of Terrell and picked her up, supposedly a mile down the road. Okay? That's the story that Kaden has told several times. Okay? But there's some things that just kind of aren't adding up. I mean, there's some things that do line up, but they line up for the wrong reasons. Okay? All right, so if you look at the map, from Duncan to Terrell, it says that it's a 48-minute drive to drive 44 miles. But, you know, when they drove down there, they didn't drive all the way to Terrell. They drove, you know, just a mile outside of Terrell to pick her up. So, not quite 48 minutes, but, I mean, it doesn't take that long to drive less, you know, just to drive less than a mile, you know, off your destination. So if you're not driving 44 miles, you're just driving 43, that's not really going to knock that much off, you know. Let's say it goes from a 48-minute drive down to what? 45 minutes, 46 minutes maybe. So there's not much difference between the amount of time that it would take to make this drive. Okay, so what is my point of this? Why am I pointing out the 48-minute drive? Okay, so these are Elisha's call logs that she provided, you know, to kind of prove her story and to back up her alibi and to prove timelines and whatever she was trying to do. Okay, here's the full call logs here on the left side. Okay, but here's what I'm most interested in is these 6 calls here to the right side that I've edited and put here. So the calls kind of start around 12:53 a.m. and they end at 2:42 a.m. Okay, so I think the picture here with Jorja was around 12:40 or so. And so then the 12:40, 12:45, somewhere around there. So it looks like that's when the calls started, around 12:53, when she's calling Kaden, you know, to find out what's going on, why is Jorja drunk, all this. You know, that's a story. So the thing that really stands out is these last 2 calls here, okay, from 1:51 to 2:42 a.m. Okay, between those calls, that's 51 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, and Kaden said in his statements that last call at 2:42 a.m. is when she called him to let him know that her and Melissa had picked up Jorja and they were on their way home. Okay, so that's after they already have her in the car at 2:42. So between 1:51 and 2:42 a.m., that's 51 minutes. And I already showed you that it takes 48 minutes to drive from Duncan to Terrell. So it all kind of lines up, doesn't it? 48 minutes and 51 minutes. Between 1:51 and 2:42, everything looks legit, and that it lines up, that's when they drove down to get Jorja. So that's all fine and good, right? Well, not really. It's a problem. It's a huge problem for Elisha and Jorja and Melissa, because Kaden said side by side UTV rollover accident happened at 2:40 a.m. Here's her calls right here at 2:42, telling Kaden that they just picked up Jorja. So guys, we've got a problem here. This puts Elisha and Jorja and Melissa on the scene of when Noah supposedly wrecked. Elisha was there, Melissa was there, and Jorja was there. Okay, that's per Kaden. that he wrecked at 2:40 a.m. Kaden was supposedly asleep. So Kaden cannot debunk or deny what I am saying because he was asleep. So what I am saying is, per the facts and per the evidence and per the timing, Melissa, Jorja, and Elisha were there in the area at the exact time that Noah supposedly had that side-by-side wreck. The only question is, what did they see and what did they do? And now it's looking a lot more sinister and mysterious of why they had to meet her down the road a mile to pick her up. So I've got questions for Elisha and I need her to answer them. Questions for Melissa and I need Melissa to answer. Questions for Jorja and I need Jorja to answer. What did y'all see at 2:40 a.m.? What do y'all know? Because y'all know something. If Kaden's story is correct, y'all done all this stuff all this time and bashed me for questioning Kaden. Y'all bashed a lot of other people. Y'all kicked people out of groups. Y'all caused people a lot of problems. So I'm telling you, okay, I believe you. Kaden's telling the truth. So now I need an explanation. You said you just left from picking up Jorja at 2:42 a.m. And Kaden is saying that the side-by-side accident happened at 2:40 a.m. It would be impossible for you to have missed that, okay? That's a big deal. So what did y'all see? Did y'all see the rest of the kids at the party panicking and rushing to Noah's side? Did y'all see Noah crushed? Did y'all leave Noah to die? Or did y'all actually try to help resuscitate him? Did y'all look at him to see if he was okay? I mean, I think common sense tells you that if his body was found up here where the X is, that the side-by-side accident had to have happened somewhere nearby. I mean, hell, it could have even happened right there on the highway. It's been unexplainable this whole time why you guys had to pick Jorja up a mile down the road. Did y'all witness the side-by-side accident when y'all were picking Jorja up? Or did y'all see someone that knew about the accident? I mean, somebody needs to do some talking. We need to get this case solved. If it was truly an accident, guys, let's just come forward and let's clear it up, clear the air. Just get this case solved. That way all the rumors stop, all the murder conspiracy theories stop, and everybody can stop pointing fingers at Kaden, okay? Because his shoe was on the body. So they're going to point fingers at Kaden for the rest of his life. So if this was an accident where Noah wrecked and rode over on the ATV, guys, just come forward and tell us what you saw. Because I don't see how it's possible that you didn't see something. Because you were there, per your call logs, that you wanted to present. Your call logs say that you were there a mile away from that party house when Noah had that side-by-side wreck at 2:40. So that's all I have, guys. I wanted to get this video out there, and I just want to let y'all know it's been a crazy week. I don't know what's going on with all the stuff that's happened to me. I don't know if it's related to the case or if it's just one hell of a coincidence that some random outsider has been attacking me. But it sure the hell is funny that I did a video about the hacking thing as a joke, as entertainment, and now I ended up getting hacked. Me and the cops are both leaning very heavily towards someone in this case that watches my YouTube channel as being responsible for hacking my bank account. And they are digging in right now, guys. All these transactions they did can be traced back to someone, somewhere, in some city, in some state. We will find out. That's all I have, guys. Talk to you later.